Hi guys, in this lesson we'll continue our lesson and learn the group by clause. The group by clause is a powerful tool in SQL for summarizing and analyzing data, and it's commonly used in various reporting and data analysis tasks. It's often used in conjunction with aggregate functions to perform different calculations or data within each group. Suppose you have a table called sales with columns such as category and quantity sold. You want to find the total quantity sold for each product category. So you will use the group by clause like this: select category, sum quantity sold from sales, group by category. So let's cover them in practice and solve the real world questions. So we already know the use of aggregate functions and how to use them. I will make a note that aggregate functions could even select it with several summary statistics, or we could perform 3 aggregate functions or 4 aggregate functions on different columns for the specific table. As an example, I will just do what? First, type in the select everything. I will try to select everything from the film, and try to use all of the aggregated functions at once. This is the film table, right? And I have these kind of columns, and if I try to add in the aggregate function, first I will type in the select. For example, the first column will be minimum. Let's pick up one column, length, and give an alias as min length. And then I will add in the second aggregate function, max, and the name of the column will be this one, for example, replacement cost. And the next one will be what? For example, I will add in the count. And the count will be, let's say, pick up this one, release year. So I will add in the alias for this one too as replacement cost and as count year. And now I will just break this query. I will need to add in what? From the film table here, from film, and run this query. And you could see from here that it will do what? Print out the minimum, maximum, or even the count, the number of rows for each column here. And we have done here what? We have only used the aggregated function. If you want to include the non-aggregated column between these ones, you should include it with the help of the group by clause. So first I will just try to explain it in a simple way. If I try to add in the max, for example, replacement cost, and from the film table, from film, run this query here, and with the help of the run button, or you can even click on F5, so it will see that it will print out the maximum value for this replacement column. But if I try to add in another column here, let's see that I want to include, for example, the rating column here. If I try to add it like rating, and after the comma I try to select this query here, you will see that it will give an error and say that it should be appeared in the group by clause. So in order to make it visible, I will add in the rating column after the group by clause. And now if I run this query, it will just print out the maximum value for each rating row here. You can see unique row for PG13, it has a maximum value of 29. I can make it a bit simple because all the values are the same for the maximum. If I try to, instead of the max, type in the sum and run this query, you could see that it has different values for each category here, for each rating category. And it will just basically go through each row and sum it based on this category. And it has grouped it because of this rating column is being included here, and it has summed it based on this rating because we want to group it by this rating column. Okay, But if we want to add in one more column, let's just try to select everything from the film table again. Let's see that I want to add in this title column here before rating. I will try to add in the title, and here I will again will need to add in the title, because this is a non-aggregated columns, these both of them, and because of these columns are non-aggregated, we should include all of them after the group by clause. So if I try to run it, you could see that it will print out all these bunch of rows here. Why do we have so many rows or here? Because we have been told to group it either for rating and for the title, and because title values are not unique, it just groups them one by one for each non-unique title too. So that's why we have kind of this bunch of rows here. Okay, let's try to add in one rating column for this, for example, query. I will try to add in the rating column here, rating, and again all of them are aggregated. Rating is not aggregated, so I will add in the rating after the group by clause, group by rating, and try to run it here, and you could see it will just count everything, years or replacement costs minimum for each category here. Okay, and if I try to add in where clause, I need to put it between from and group by. If I want to, for example, include the where clause here, let's everything make it a bit clear. I want to include sum the amount for each customer ID inside the, for example, payment table. First I will select everything from payment, right? If I try to run it, and I want to select everything from the payment table where the amount is greater than, for example, where amount is greater than, for example, 8, right? Sorry, where should be like after payment. Okay, I will add in the where amount is greater than 8, and just run this query, and you could see that it will just sort out all the rows where the amount is greater than 8. But I want to include it and sum the amount for each customer ID. If I want to sum the amount for each customer ID, I need to include the customer ID column here, and again the sum amount, and again after the where clause, I need to do what? Group it, because where clause comes after the from, but before group by what? Customer ID. If I try to run this code, you could see it will sum all the values for each customer ID here. Where comes before group by and after the from here. Okay, and now let's try to solve up the practical question so that this lesson will be understandable for you. The question number 1: can you provide a SQL query that summarizes the total payment amount and the count of payments made by each customer to each staff member? Okay, let's try to solve it. I will first add in what? Question number 1. I need to do what? Provide a SQL query that summarizes the total payment amount and count of payments by each customer and staff member. So I need to group it based on the customer ID and staff ID. I will try to type in the select customer ID, staff ID, from where? From the payment table, from payment. Okay, and first if I try to run it, it will select two columns here, but I want to sum it again, include what? The amount column here, but sum it based on these two columns. So I will add in the sum amount and include, if I have include this aggregated column, so I need to add these non-aggregated ones to the group by clause. So I will add in the group by these two columns, delete this comma and run the query here. Okay, and the result will be like this one. It will just sum up all the values, the amounts for each staff ID and customer ID here. It will group it based on these two columns. And now let's try to solve the question number 2. Okay, this seems a bit complicated. Filter a payment table and include rows where the amount is greater than 5. Then group the data by unique combination of customers and staff members. Finally, present a summary of payment made by each customer to each staff member. Ensure that the results are sorted with the combinations having the highest total payment amount and payment count appearing at the top. Okay, we need to add in the amount and the count and group it based on the customer ID and the staff ID. Question number 2. First, I will do what? Select everything or customer ID and staff ID from the payment table. Let's first select everything from the payment table because I want to select it first. The first condition is where amount is greater than 5. Payment where amount is greater than 5. Okay, I will run this query first. It will select all the data where the amount is greater than 5. Then we should group the data by unique combination of customers and staffs. This customer ID and staff ID. So I need to add in both of these column names right here. And because both of them are non-aggregated, I need to add in the aggregated one. The first one will be sum amount and count them even. I will count them. All the rows, not the specific row. I will just add in the count function for all the rows here. All star means all, and I need to include all of these non-aggregated columns to the group by clause. Group by these column names here. First, if I try to let's just break this query and let's try to select or run this query here, like run button, and you can see it will just sum up all these values for each staff ID and customer ID because we have already grouped it based on these two columns. But I again need to do what? Order it based on the total amount in a descending order. So order will be put after the group by. I will add in the order by again by the sum total amount, like this one, sum order by. Let's give an alias as sum amount, and this one should be included here, order by sum amount in a descending order. Also, I want to include the make it based on this count. Count should be also in a descending order. First, I will give an alias for the count aggregated function and type in it like payment count. Okay, and again order it based on that to disk and run this query here, and you can see the result will be like that. It will sort it based on these two columns and group it based on these two columns here. As the code looks good, we can even do it like as payment from this payment table where amount is greater than 5, group by customer ID and staff ID, order by sum amount, disk, and payment ID disk. I will just copy this whole query and put it to the Jupyter notebook that I have already installed in the first lesson. I will put even the link in the description below. If you want, you can download it and use this code as a portfolio in later. It will just give us what, because I haven't included SQL, and if I try to run it here, and you can see the same data will be imported here to the local server. I think that this lesson was really interesting for you. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel. Have a good day. Bye.